how does it feel to be back home here at Tara, Miss Scarlett?
Oh, just lovely, Mr. Butler. Who is this person?
This is the new maid. Mr. and Mrs. Whitney, meet Christie Sommers.
Hello.
Well, hi, Chrissy. I hope that you're going to be very happy here in the Whitney household.
Thank you, sir.
Have there been any messages while I was gone?
Oh, yes, your lawyer called. He said to call him back at once.
Thank you. Yeah, Harry. This guy Whitney here. What's up? But they can't do that. Listen, you tell... No. Yeah, no, wait a minute. I'll tell them myself. Yeah, okay, bye-bye. Honey, listen, there's a problem. I'm gonna have to leave for a while. The insurance company isn't going to improve my plans until I change some of the arrangements backstage. So I'm gonna have to run over there and take care of it, or there's not going to be an opening next month.
Guy, we've only been here 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but it's important. It's got to be taken care of. I'll be back as soon as I can. Besides, there are things you can do here. Come on, Gunther, let's go.
Right.
May I help you, ma'am?
No. Oh, wait a minute. I would like a cup of tea, please.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to find that key.
It isn't the lady lawyer.
You don't have to put a handle on it. Just lawyer will do. People don't refer to you as male detective now, do they?
There's only one possible reason for you to be here, Miss Bannister. You want to ask something. My intuition tells me I'm not going to like it, whatever it may be.
You look all right to me.
Well, thank you. You don't look so bad yourself.
I mean, you don't look like you were hurt in that shootout the other day. Or maybe it just doesn't show.
Only my pride, Miss Bannister, only my pride. I was suspended for 3 days without pay, 2 of which I had to work.
So, your partner is the only one who was injured then, right?
Oh, you mean the one and only Detective Calvin Stoner, who just walked in behind you.
Well, if it isn't our storefront attorney. Let's see, what was it again?
Bannister.
Yes.
Miss. And I do not work out of a storefront. I have an office, a telephone, a file cabinet, and a client.
Well, fancy that, the lucky fellow. I hear you did pretty well with your last client, your first client, Leah Washington. Do you know, she actually talked the DA out of giving that weasel the long stretch he so richly deserved?
Oh, don't fret, Calvin. We must be patient. I have no doubt that our friend, Mr. Washington's going to be right back in his cell as soon as the next full moon arrives.
And if he is, which I doubt, I'll be more than happy to represent him again.
My, aren't you persistent about defending the bad guys? Nothing appeals to me more than a hotshot attorney, fresh out of law school.
You said something about a client. I assume you mean another client.
I do. Jimmy Crothers.
Kraus? Kraus? I don't believe it. I mean, are you aware that it's Jimmy Kraus who did this to me the other day? And I suppose you're back here now, getting ready to ask for clemency again? Well, let me tell you, you're out of luck this time, my dear. We've got Mr. Kraus in here, and that's where we're going to keep him for a long time.
I am not here to discuss clemency. I came here to gather a few details related to the incident.
The shooting, Miss Bannister.
The incident that occurred at Mr. Krause's rooming house the other day. Now, I want to hear it from you. Who fired his gun first?
Krause fired first. Calvin fired afterward at the door handle to gain entry.
Can you corroborate that?
I can and I do.
That's not what my client said.
I don't give a...
And I'm going to prove it in court. Good day, Detective Tyler. Detective Stoner.
Oh, I don't believe it. This one damn exasperating young lady. And if she wasn't so cute, I'd have told her exactly where to go.
Yeah, well, we'll see just how cute she is in court.
So, do you want to give me 2 more of those, please?
Well, one good thing I noticed, we're getting repeaters already. Third time that couple over there has been in here.
You know, the lunch crowd is growing, too. We're going to do just fine, Sid.
So, what'd you do with your night off?
Not much, really. I did stop by the Wiley Dance Studio on my way home. I got to see a rehearsal. It was really interesting.
The rehearsal or the dance director?
Oh, you mean Gavin Wiley?
Oh, well, that's the 4th time today you've mentioned his name.
Oh, I hadn't noticed. You know, I'd love to take a dance class there, but I know I'm not good enough. At least not good enough to be in one of Gavin's classes.
That's the 5th time.
Who's counting?
Customer.
Hi. You want to sit here? Sure, that'd be great. Listen, I'm waiting for a friend, so could you hold my order?
Sure.
I think I'll have... Well, I better stick to a chef salad and iced tea. I'm on a diet.
You're on a diet? Whatever for?
Well, because I'm a dancer, and any extra weight seems to affect the work.
Oh, do you dance at the dance studio around the corner?
Yes, I do.
Wait a minute. Are you Jody? You're Jody Travis, right?
Right. How did you know that?
Oh, I went to the dance studio to watch a rehearsal. See, Gavin Wiley's a customer here, and he said it would be okay. Anyway, I saw your picture there, and Gavin told me you're one of his star pupils.
That, I'm afraid, is an exaggeration, but it's nice to hear anyway. Thank you.
That was the chef salad, right? And iced tea.
Right.
And you're waiting. And I'll just bet Gavin's meeting her for lunch.
Oh, hi.
See, this insurance investigation here is ridiculous. No, I am sick of dealing with tiny minds.
Mr. Whitney, I was just wondering, do you plan to stop at the dance studio today?
No, it doesn't look as if I'm going to have time, Gunther. And I don't think that my wife would appreciate it if I made time.
Yes, sir. Mr. Whitney,
Well, go on, Mr. Whitney. What?
well, I was just going to say that if you hear anything or, rumors about me and Doc Kavanaugh, just take it with a grain of salt.
Take it with a grain of salt, huh? Well, just what rumors am I likely to hear about you and Doc Kavanaugh?
Well, look, he's been going around talking about me to friends of his in the police department. None of it true, you understand? But he's been trying to make trouble for me ever since I had to watch Miss DeVal.
All right, now you pay attention to me, Gunther. I am ordering you to stay out of Kavanaugh's way. I don't want any trouble caused in that family, any altercation that'll upset him or his family or Jody Travis. I've got too much invested in that dance company. And I've got an opening bleeding down my neck. You got that?
Yes, sir.
I'll have an opening if I can clear up this mess with the insurance company. What time is it anyway?
I don't know. I didn't.
What am I asking you for?
watch.
I've got to watch it.
Gee, that's a real swell-looking watch, Mr. Whitney. I don't believe I've ever seen you wear it.
Yeah.
Mind if I take a look?
Sure. It's a gift from my wife. It's been in the family for quite a while. As a matter of fact, it belonged to my grandfather.
Oh, what do you know? Same initials as mine, except the first 2 letters are transposed. SGW. GSW. Gunther S. Wagner.
That's interesting. What's the S stand for?
Oh, hey, I'll never tell.
All right, Gunther, you wait here. I'll be down in just a little while.
All right. S stands for slave. Yeah, that's what it stands for. Slave.
All this trouble and I can't find that stupid key. I have got to take another look at that picture. Your tea, Mrs. Whitney. Oh, thank you. I'll just take this upstairs. I was looking for something. Obviously, I didn't find it. It's a bit of a mess, so if you would please repack the suitcases and take them up to my room. And if there's anything else, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thanks. Boy, I'm hungry.
You're always hungry. Oops. Well, then again, you burn off all those calories.
Wouldn't hurt you to take off a few.
All right, what's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just wondering why you were late. I mean, you know I only have a little while for my lunch.
I'm sorry that I was late. We're not going to argue over 5 minutes, are we?
Of course not. So why were you late?
I went to visit a friend at Monticello General. You do remember Valerie Bryson, don't you?
Of course I remember Valerie Bryson. I haven't lost my memory. Let's see, I met her at a restaurant last week, and she was taking pictures at the Whitney's wedding. You see, I didn't drink that much champagne.
Well, Val's father just had a very serious heart attack. She's over at the hospital now every time she gets a chance. I just figured I'd go over there and lend her a little bit of moral support today, that's all.
Isn't her father that famous Dr. Bryson?
Yeah. Yeah, she's had a really hard time. First he was in prison, now he's in the hospital in critical condition.
But that's the same Kenneth Bryson that did all those horrible things to your aunt.
Yeah. She's had a real hard time coping with his past and the present. Now she's even doubtful about his future.
You know, Kelly, I would think that after all the horrible things that happened to Nancy Carr, you would feel some kind of resentment towards any Brysons.
Well, sure I did. You couldn't help but feel resentment, antagonism, yeah.
Well, what about now? How do you feel now?
You can't hold a grudge forever, Jody. You gotta feel some sort of compassion and sympathy for what she's been through and for what she's going through right now.
Oh.
Come on. You can't hold Valerie responsible for her father's mistakes, not now and not in the future. Those are his problems.
Really? You seem to have made them yours.
Look, let's just put it this way. The car straightened me out on the subject, okay? In fact, I'm even embarrassed now when I see Val, the way I treated her when I first met her.
So you mean it was Mike and Nancy who, like, sort of pushed you into going to the hospital to lend you moral support?
No, not at all. It was my decision.
Well, I am sure that Valerie Bryson needs a very good friend right now. And that was a nice thing you did. Really, very nice.
How's your father doing, Val?
To use the hospital phrase, he's holding his own.
That's good.
Is this going to be enough light, Carlo?
I think so. We'll have to adapt it as we go along.
And which model are we using today? Marla?
No. Martine Duval. I believe you met her at the wedding?
Oh, of course. Brunette.
Yes.
Very exotic.
Yes.
Beautiful. Very French.
Yes, very all of those things.
Wow. She should be a knockout for this ad series.
She will be. She doesn't know it yet, but she will be. We may have to handle her with a little delicacy. She's never done this before, never modeled. She's primarily a dancer, I'm told.
Oh, well, I'll do everything I can to make her comfortable.
Good. She was a trifle reluctant to accept this job.
Oh, I'm sure she'll be fine.
My dear Miss Duval, welcome to the Crown Studios.
Yes, thank you.
I believe you've met my assistant, Valerie Bryson. Martine Duval, Valerie.
Hi, we met at the reception. It's nice to have you here, Miss Duval. I hope you like it.
Oh, thank you. I have to say that I do feel a little nervous. You see, I am not a model. I don't have the talent for it, but since Mr. Crown insisted so much, I'll try.
What did I tell you, Valerie? Don't you think she will be perfect for our perfume ad?
I certainly do.
Please call me Martine.
And I'm Valerie. All we're going to do is a series of dance poses for this new perfume called Arabesque. So with your dance experience and your looks, you're what Carlo calls unnatural.
Miss Duval, this way to the dressing room. You'll find your costume there, and you can put it on now. We will get started. I believe you will find that I have a very good eye for size. And if you should need any help, I'll be glad, or Valerie will be glad to assist you.
Crown Photo Studio.
Yes, Miss Bryson?
Yes, this is she.
This is Raven. I mean, Mrs. Schuyler Whitney.
Oh, Mrs. Whitney. Yes?
Well, I was wondering if you had any plans for lunch.
Me? Well, I usually don't take a lunch hour until later, and Mr. Crown and I have just started a new advertising layout, so
I must talk to you. It's very important. It won't take very long. I'm sure Mr. Crown won't mind, especially when you tell him that I'm going to place a very large order for wedding pictures. And he'll mind even less when you tell him that I plan to suggest to Sky that perhaps Crown Photo can cover the new opening of the dance studios. So, how about lunch?
Just a moment, please. Carlo, Mrs. Whitney wants me to join her for lunch.
Oh, but of course, you must go to lunch, my dear. I won't need you until much later this afternoon.
Mrs. Whitney? Mr. Crown says he can let me off for a little while, but can we do it in this neighborhood?
Sure, any place you like.
How about Sid's Tavern? It's right in the next block up.
Wonderful. I'll meet you there in 20 minutes.
Okay, fine.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
You cannot refuse that, Lady Valerie. The Whitneys are among our best clients. Now, you will deliver these to Thales Furniture on your way to the advertising department.
I have 20 minutes before I meet Mrs. Whitney for lunch. I want you to know I'm going under protest.
Stupid zipper to work.
Oh, allow me. It is, as I said, Martine, going to be just like old times.
Oh, hi there, Miss Bryson.
Hi.
You alone?
No, I'm going to join Mrs. Whitney. Thanks. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Val.
Hi, Judy. Hi. Hi, Mrs. Whitney.
Hello. I'm so glad you could come, especially since your studio seemed very busy.
Well, it's all right since Mr. Crown let me off for a little bit.
I thought you would.
So, how are you?
Well, I'm great.
And how was your honeymoon?
Oh, that was wonderful. We had a wonderful time.
Good, good, I'm glad. Mrs. Whitney, if this is about those wedding proofs that I dropped...
No. It's not about the wedding proofs. Actually, it's about something that's much more important.
What is that?
Well, might as well get it out. Miss Bryson, please tell me, what exactly was your relationship to my husband 3 years ago at San Moritz?